information war determines our livelihood as people. So we have to be aware, we have to be cognitive, whatever, however you pronounce it, of the information that's being done out here. I promise you. So a lot of people may see this information and be like, yo, damn, what you got against Native Americans? Do you have a problem with Native Americans? A lot of these people lack the comprehension skills to understand what's being said, right? A lot of people may feel like, damn, you doing erasure or whatever the word they call erasure, right? Why is they creating the term erasure? They're creating the term erasure for a problem. Why does it always seem like this community is so sensitive? Don't it remind you of another community that's very, very sensitive? Think about it. Why is this community so sensitive? This community is so sensitive because there's something to hide. If there's nothing to hide, then there's no reason for the oversensitivity of anything. We all know that our people are at the bottom of society when it comes to everything. Point blank, period. The reason why they're at the bottom of society is because everyone knows that this is our planet. And if we figure that out, it's going to be problematic. So every person that's not original to this planet is conspiring and working together to make sure the people that are original to this planet never know they're original to this planet. They're all working together to make sure these facts never get out. Why is that important? Because you got people who are the original inhabitants of this planet that don't even understand they are the original inhabitants of this. You got people who are the original inhabitants of America that don't even know that they're the original inhabitants of America. So we putting out the information. We're putting it out. So I did Native Americans are not indigenous to America, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7. Now we on part 8. Part 7, I revealed the skull Luzia. Luzia is not the oldest skull in America. There's older skulls in America that predate her that I'm going to release as well. But Luzia is an experiment that they did with a skull that at times was the oldest skull in America, right? Well, compared to mainstream science. So, you know, we got to deal with the whole mainstream versus not mainstream. Just because something isn't mainstream doesn't mean it isn't valid. And just because something is mainstream doesn't mean it's valid. So we got to understand that too, right? We have to understand that part of what we doing when we doing research. But mainstream people, they all came, they said, okay, Luzia, boom. They did an experiment and they realized that Luzia was one of us, right? But you know, because of their cognitive dissonance towards the Darwin theory that they still hold against today, they had to say it was African descent. They had to say that she was African descent, right? Why is that? It's important because anything they find with our features, they want to connect it to Africa. Why do they want to connect that to Africa? They want to connect it to Africa because when you connect this thing to Africa, it still holds true to the Charles Darwin theory that all originated from Africa. Not only that, they want dark people who share our phenotype to be exclusive to that landmass as well. So of wars going on when it comes to this type of information, because everyone thinks that if you are a melanated individual, you come from Africa, right? They don't even question anything other than you coming from Africa, right? Finding these people that's on the walls, on the murals, right? And they saying these people have dreadlocks, these people have woolly hair, these people are dark skinned. They have to associate these people with being from Africa in order to make it politically correct, mainstream wise. So we're dealing with a large case of political correctness when it comes to our ancient people. So that must be understood. But why is it a problem? Why are they trying? Do they show you the quote unquote Native Americans being the original people, the Native Americans getting all the benefits from the land and things of that nature? Why? The casinos and things of that nature, right? And then on top of that, if you really look deep into these, then you're going to see people that look Chinese, dark to claim they're indigenous to this land. It's never an issue when you can clearly see that this person is a colonizer, right? You could clearly see this person is a colonizer, and is no red flags is raised when you see that. The only red flags become to raise is when these dark people are starting to discover that they are the original inhabitants of this landmass. Now all hell is breaking loose. Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate you, my J. You know the vibes. Now this becomes a problem. Why does this become a problem? Because we cannot let them know that they're the original inhabitants of America, because if we let them know that they're the original inhabitants of America, everything we was taught goes out the window, and it's a lie. So with that being said, you gotta understand, like, trust me when I tell you, you have to understand that their mainstream scientists, they're all conspiring against a people. They like, look, we don't care what we discover. We'll forget and ignore the discoveries that say they're here first, because we are the ones that publish it. This is why we have to expose the mainstream media. This is why we have to expose peer review. This is why we have to expose mainstream academia. We have to expose all of these things. We have to expose these institutions, because these institutions are keeping up with the lie. These institutions, Yale, Harvard, they are still going with the out of Africa Charles Darwin theory, even though we all know that to be debunked. It's to carry on the narrative. We found human bones that date back millions of years on the America, 200,000 predating the stuff they're finding on Africa in America that's human bones. I'm not talking about no Homo erectus, and no, I'm talking about human beings, us, dating back millions of years on American soil. That mainstream media is trying to hide. Why are they trying to hide this fact? It's all you melanated brother and sister. It's all because of you. They understand that you understanding that you are the original inhabitants of this land will destroy every fallacy that they created throughout all of these years. And by destroying all of those fallacies, now we will begin to make a claim back on what's ours rightfully anyway. So I'm on YouTube. I'm gonna definitely show some pictures of the earliest people of America, right? I want to show y'all some depictions. So boom, you got right here what they call an Olmec head, right? I know a lot of y'all are familiar with the Olmec heads, right? This is in America. Look at the features of those people. Those people resemble what people? You can't lie about stuff like this, right? Now I see they're conspiring against the old because they're trying to say that Mexicans and things of that nature got these similar features. Peace to the God. That they got these similar features, but there's always error in what they're saying. First and foremost, they're comparing modern day Mexicans who are kind of mixed with some of that lineage. Most Mexicans that we see today are mixed people. So they're taking the ones with mixed phenotype and they're trying to say they look like them. Trying to say, no, the Olmecs don't look like us, blah, blah, blah. We all know the Olmecs look like us. Point blank, period. We all know the Olmecs look like us, right? But guess what you can't fake? Guess what you can't fake, though? Guess what you can't fake? See, you could fake that all day, right? You could say blah, 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 blah. You can't fake, though. You cannot fake the braids. Can't fake the braids. Peace to the God. You can't fake the braids now. Can't fake the braids. It's only one. You have to have a certain type of DNA to have that. That's the back of the Olmec heads that they never show you. That they never show you. Somebody lying. Let me share this with let me share this on IG too. I mean on YouTube real quick. You can't lie about that. You can lie about everything else. You can't lie about that. Can't lie about that. See what I'm saying? So this is why we have to have these type of conversations, because understand who was these ancient people, right? These, you see those braids, you know damn well people that look Asian with that type of hair cannot get this hairstyle. We all got to be mixed with a little bit of us to even try to attempt to get this hairstyle. Come on now. So they got some answers. They got some questions that need answers. They got some questions that need answers, right? But why is this all important? And why are they trying to go so hard to say that these are not us? Why are they going so hard to say these are not us? They make a theory of people that's supposed to disappear. They're creating all of these theories. Why are they creating all of these theories when y'all can just keep it real? Why create all of these theories when y'all can just keep it real? Come on now. Let's talk about it. So while your mind on Africa somewhere, they digging up ancestors' bones and hiding it from you. They're digging up the things your ancestors left here for you to know that they was here and hiding it for you. You see how our ancestors was? Our ancestors were so intelligent that they left things behind. They left things behind. We can't get recognized, and it's for them to recognize us anyway. It's for us to recognize ourselves. Once we're able to recognize ourselves, now we can move autonomously the way we're supposed to. What is one of the first rules of international law? So it makes sense. You don't even know who you is. You don't even know who your ancestors are. So fuck it, you African. You African. That way, anything that's dealing with this American continent, you are a foreigner to. Let's make them African. Let's make them Negro. Let's make them right. Let's give them all of these misnomers so they don't know who they really is. So when it's time to have conversations on things, they don't even see at the conversation table. Because y'all talking about reparations, right? How y'all talking about reparations and y'all into a body politic? What are you talking about? And that's why I had to make a post about them. The matrix is not Earth. The matrix is not the physical realm. The matrix is in the mind. You see in the movies, Plug, matrix is in the mind. It's not the physical realm. Why is that important? Because you got a group of people who perceive to be conscious, perceive to be spiritual, which I love that direction. I love my people with every day. You have to know how to interface properly. No one's telling you to disassociate yourself from the entire world. No one's telling you to do that. No. Matrix is the mass brainwashing of the world. People can't perceive what's really going on in the matrix. When you get your mind out of the matrix, you're going to still this physical realm, but now you can go to war with your oppressor properly. They're waging war on us, and we ain't even fighting back. We're not even fighting back. Because how could you fight back? You're going to get frustrated. You're going to pull out a gun, annihilate you in 2.5 seconds. Then what? Emotion that you don't even understand what type of war you're in. What war are you in? The war is not just physical, no. It's going to take some physicality, of course. We got to get it back in blood now. Don't, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get it back in blood. We're not ducking that. But just because a person say that it's not just physical, don't mean that that person is not trying to get physical. No. Different. Because how can you get physical with people who have a system created to neutralize you? How can you get physical with those type of people? You can't. Because they have laws in place that if you do fight back, you will get consequence. So this is why you need to understand jurisdiction. This is why you need to understand your right to autonomy and self-government. This is why you need to understand your rights, your human rights, and not civil rights, which is permissions. This is why you need to understand this thing right here. This is why you need to understand nationality, not the fake ass nationality that they pushing on y'all, but to belong to an indigenous government who protects your rights. Not an ecclesiastical government who's under the jurisdiction of their oppressor. Know the difference. Because there's a lot of people talking nationality talk. Everybody that's talking nationality talk ain't going to give you a solution that you really need. Point blank, period. They can't. So it might sound good on paper, but then they got you risking your life. I got the right to travel. I got, like, bro, like, stop with that loony shit. Stop with that loony shit. Grounded in reality. Know the difference between the matrix and reality. Some people think the matrix is reality. It's not. We have to join an indigenous government, claim our nationality, operate in our indigenous status, operate in our indigenous status, and operate autonomously. Now, genealogy, absolutely. But it don't stop with genealogy, though. That's another thing. Everybody thinks that, okay, once I get my genealogy and I know my ancestors and blah, 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 that's the solution. No, that genealogy is very important. That's just the first step, though. There's still more steps that you have to take after you do that. Because you can know your 13th, great-grandfather and still be a 14th Amendment slave operating under the jurisdiction of your oppressor. You know that, right? They got to set up for everything. They got to set up for everything. So you got to really know what you're doing and how you navigating out here in this world. Because they're going to set you up every which way. You're going to think like, damn, yes, I'm an American Indian. I got my lineage. I'm Yamasee. I'm Chata. Boom. Okay, we outside. We know our lineage. All right, now what? Are you operating in your indigenous status, or are you trying to integrate? See what I'm saying? Because look, let's talk about integration, for example, right? These tribes are occupied by foreigners. Some of your ancestors' tribes that they started are occupied by foreigners who don't want you in there. Who don't want you in. And even if you do get in there, what does it become? What it becomes is integration. They claim in our culture. It becomes integration. What's the problem with integration? There's so many. See, what's the problem with integration? When we had segregation, we had Black Wall Streets in every part of America. We had thriving cities with rich and wealthy people who share the same melanin as us. So integration is not the answer. Autonomy is. That's why I made the song Integrate. I made the song Integrate because I said we about autonomy. We ain't trying to integrate. What does that mean? That means that I don't want to integrate foreigners to live peacefully. I want to operate based off my own jurisdictions for my people. Now we're going to build institutions. Now we're building the necessary things that we need to build to put our people in the right position. Not depending on our oppressor to do it, because they will never do it. They will never do it. They want you to be a slave. They want you to be African. They've been pushing Pan-Africanism for a very long time. Where has it got us as a culture? Where has Pan-Africanism got us as a culture? You know what I'm saying? People, yo, Africa, what you got against Africa? Africans was the first. No, stop it. Stop it. When you claim that you're African, this makes you a foreigner to this land. No, I don't agree with Dr. Umar at all. I don't agree with Dr. Umar at all. Dr. Umar is going to become a dinosaur if he don't switch up his paradigm. Honestly, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with Dr. Umar. Umar is a a person who's put in place to deceive the people by calling everybody African, no African. We are indigenous. We are all indigenous. We are all aboriginals. We're not all African. You see the difference? By me saying that we are aboriginals, that's saying that all dark people are the original inhabitants of the planet Earth. You got aboriginals in Australia. You got aboriginals in Africa. You got aboriginals in America. By him calling you African, what he's saying is that all y'all originated on one landmass. That's the problem. We got to understand that no, we run the planet. This is our planet. We're the original inhabitants of the planet. Then people be like, so what y'all saying is people just sprout in America? So what you saying is people just sprouted up in Africa? So it's okay for people to just sprout up in Africa, but it's not okay for people to sprout up in America. Make it make sense. Peace, sis. Make it sense. Why is it okay for people to sprout up in Africa, but it's not okay for people to sprout up in America? Make it make sense. You know why? Because you brainwashed by the Bible. You brainwashed by the Bible. What does that mean? That means that you believe that Adam and Eve created the whole civilization. So the fact that you believe that Adam and Eve created the whole civilization, and the whole civilization populated from Adam and Eve, you think that's the same thing that happened with the original humans. You think the original humans started in Africa and populated the whole world. That's not how it happened. There's no proof of that happening. That's belief. So we can't keep reality off belief. We got to start dealing with the things that we can prove. And we can prove that the oldest civilization in America, this is what we can prove. The oldest civilization in America were dark people. How can we prove it? We can prove it like this. We can prove it like this. That's a fro. You can clearly see that's a fro. There's only one phenotype. There's only one type of group of people that can make that phenotype right there. And it's not the people they saying is the first people here. That's an Olmec statue. Not a statue, but an Olmec, whatever you call it. Know what I'm saying? First people in America. This is the oldest civilization in America, point blank, period. Point blank, period. Right? What else can we prove? What else can we prove? So they made a discovery of Lucia. They made the discovery of Lucia. Right? Why is that important? That's important because look what's going on here. These are the Americas prior to slavery. What's going on here? Somebody lying. Why are they lying to y'all? Why? I thought we all came on slave ships. I thought we all came on slave ships. What the hell? Hold on. Y'all see me? Y'all see me? Yeah. I thought we all came on slave ships. Somebody lying. Come on now. Then you got this whole indigenous erasure. Indigenous erasure. Why is they saying indigenous erasure? Because they already erased you. They already erased you. The people that's dealing with erasure is you. And some of our people is dealing with so much cognitive dissonance that they don't even comprehend that it's them. They don't even comprehend that this is you. These are your people. So you got some people on TikTok, I did my TikTok thing. You got people saying, you got melanated people, us, saying that pale people predate them. And then you got mainstream archaeologists co-conspiring and outcasting the archaeologists who's making these discoveries to show that we were the first inhabitants of this landmass. And on top of that, we never came from nowhere. See, they want you to think that these lands was once unoccupied. That's what they want you to think. Everybody on this land had to come from somewhere. No, there's no proof of that. There's proof of people coming here, but the people that they find, and there's no proof of them migrating. That's why they just try. I was just reading the Luzia. I was just reading the Luzia article, right? And the Luzia article, let's talk about the Luzia article, for example. They trying to say how they debunk that Luzia didn't come from Africa or Australia. Nigga, we know. Oh, fuck. Okay. We know. We know she didn't come from Africa. We know she didn't come from Australia. We know that. But we know that she still is a melanated person from here. She's from here. We know that. So what they did was they created this Clovis people theory and saying that these Clovis people just disappeared. These people who share an African, quote unquote, African phenotype, dark people in America just disappeared. No, they didn't disappear. It's us. They want to create all these theories except just admitting hold on. All right, there we go. Had to get rid of a troll real quick. But yeah, back to what I was saying. We got to understand that they control the mainstream media. They control the academia. They control the peer review. They control all of these things for a specific reason. And then all of the ones that prove that we was here, they try to debunk them. So we have to stop thinking that America was once occupied. That doesn't even make logical sense. Like, I'm going to think logical sense. How does that make logical sense? So you're saying everywhere else was occupied except America. Why? Why don't y'all want this area to be occupied? What's up, sis? Why don't y'all want this? Why don't y'all want it to be occupied? Yeah, they definitely lying about 13%. They're definitely lying about 13%. It's way more than 13%. But they control the numbers. So who are you to challenge control the numbers? We got to build our own institutions so we can control. This is an infant battle. For who is the first people on this land? Because they don't want it to be you. Because if your ancestors taught Egyptian, your ancestors built pyramids. These people that they're depicting built teepees. We're not the same. Don't compare mound builders and pyramid builders to teepee builders. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We live like kings. We live like chiefs. We live like emperors. We got to understand that. So you see the oldest civilization in America is dark people, not the people that they saying it is. Now that you know that, what are you going to do about it? Because when we present this information to the people, we're not presenting this information for you to be happy. Yay, my ancestors was here first. No. Now you got to start taking action. Now you got responsibility. Now you got responsibility because you might got some land and some land patents waiting on you, right? You got responsibility to do more research, right? You got responsibility to understand that you got benefits waiting. It does not. No, not to people that are African. You are not, though. If the indigenous people of America, the dark indigenous people of America are not African. Some people may have an intermixed bloodline. I don't discredit that, but there was it was majority of Aboriginal dark people already here when a small percentage of African people came here. They assimilated into us. We didn't assimilate into them. They bred it out with us. We must understand that. So now that you know that, you have a responsibility. What's your responsibility? Indigenous nationality. Now you got to understand what is your political status. Now you got to understand what are your human rights. Now you got to understand what is all. It's only going to get worse. You want your children to grow up and be slaves? Pan-African, they've been talking this Pan-African shit for hundreds of years. Okay, Umar, solution for Black America if we all African. Better yet, move your whole infatuation with whole time Africans is coming to our continent to put resources back in Africa. How you forceful and you got to come to another continent building over here. This is our land. We built this shit. We got the pyramids to prove it. We got the artifacts to prove it. We got everything you need to prove it. And they created the Native Americans Graves Act. What is the Native Americans Grave Act? Look it up. The Native American grave was made so that we don't dig up the bones and test them to see who those people really are. Come on now. It's a major cover-up going on. They can't stop this information though, but it's a major cover-up going on. Then now the next step is nationality, right? That now nationality is becoming a problem as well. Now these people got every step you take, they got some shit for your ass. They got some shit for your ass. Every single step you take, they got something for you. Now you done took the next step. You done took the next step towards you took the next step towards claiming your nationality. Now you got these other sovereign citizen groups, right? Now you got all that is, and you got all of this shit going on. More confusion. Now they, and it's gonna be on I'm saving this and it's gonna be on my YouTube channel. Tupac She is pinned. Right? So you really got to have discernment, correct their status, correction that we don't get the things that we deserve. Come on now. You out here risking your life, getting stopped by police, trying police. I got the right to. Why are you risking your life? No, learn how to interface jurisdictions. You have to learn how to interface with jurisdictions. White man has a jurisdiction. You create your own jurisdiction. You respect that man's jurisdiction. That man respects your jurisdiction. Point blank, period. You driving on a white man's roads, private roads that they build. whether it's and there